What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The U.S. reportedly plans to send cluster munitions to Ukraine to help Kyiv's counteroffensive against Russia. Cluster munitions carry dozens of smaller explosives in a single artillery shell. They're banned in over 100 countries, but not in the U.S., Russia, or Ukraine. Human rights groups say they endanger civilians because not all the bombs explode on impact. They often end up killing children when they pick the bomblets up. But Russia and Ukraine have both been using the cluster munitions in battle. In Taiwan news, the government is easing the physical requirements for people looking to join the military. But this change has prompted concerns about the armed forces' ability to attract enough soldiers. Jaime Okan reports.
Taiwan's military could be about to literally get bigger. On Wednesday, the Defense Ministry announced it would adjust the health guidelines for volunteer soldiers. For the men, now anyone between 152 and 200 centimeters can sign up. The previous height requirement to enter service was between 158 and 195 centimeters. And for body mass index, or BMI, the new range is anywhere between 16.5 to 32. Before, it was 17 to 31. But it's not just men that are getting new rules. Guidelines for women are also being changed. Now any women between 150 and 200 centimeters tall can join. Previously, the range was 155 to 185 centimeters. But the BMI requirement for women won't change. That will still stay between 17 and 26. Taiwan's military says these changes are an effort to expand its forces.
主要是为了符合国军的用兵实际需要，参考美日等先进国家志愿役军人的一个身高限制，那么修正了身高的条件。
Taiwan has been trying to better prepare its soldiers for combat, as neighboring China continues to threaten the country. Earlier this year, Taiwan increased a mandatory military service for young men from 4 months to 1 year. Despite the lengthened conscription period, Taiwan's troops would still be heavily outnumbered. China has over 2 million active soldiers, whereas Taiwan has roughly 170,000. The eased physical requirements for recruits are meant to address that imbalance, but they were announced with little explanation, and this has drawn criticism from several lawmakers.
必须对外来去说明调整的原因是有任何的科学依据或是战备的需求。现在的资讯化的作战、科技化的作战，以及这样的体格是否有适合担任我们志愿役兵种的一个需求，我想这个部分都是社会有非常大的疑虑。
Politicians from the country's ruling Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, have also said the changes may be a way to hide the military's inability to recruit troops.
是因应现代化的战场、新的任务、新的军种或者新的执行方式，那体位区分做适当的调整，这个是可以接受，但是不能够是为了招募不足降低标准。
But it's not just about troop numbers. Some analysts caution that changing the physical standards for soldiers could pose a danger. Some heavy weapons like rocket launchers require a certain physique to safely handle them.
突击步枪还有反甲武器，譬如说空中火箭弹，如果说身高过矮的士兵，你就会变成说，一个士兵拿着一个长的扫把去抗敌。
With the military working to build up its numbers, it's raised concerns about lowering standards, and that the country's defense forces could be focusing more on quantity and not enough on quality. Justin Wu and Jaime Okan for TaiwanPlus.
A Tainan city councilor is the latest local official to be accused of corruption. It's not the first time that he's faced accusations, and his supporters say these new charges are politically motivated. Joyce Zeng reports.
Investigators fan out across the southern city of Tainan, looking for evidence of corruption. The local prosecutor's office say this man, City Councilor Guo Xinliang, extorted money and took bribes during a land rezoning project 10 years ago. They say he was paid $300,000 US. Teams of investigators made a series of raids, taking documents and detaining people.
前议长、议会办公室、服务处及住处等，及台南市政府地政局及相关涉案人员住处共10余处执行搜索，带回相关涉案人及证人共10余人。
Guo has previously been accused of extorting money from a steel firm, while he was the council's deputy speaker in 2012. But some say the latest accusations are political. In his last term, Guo broke with the ruling Democratic Progressive Party and won the council speakership as an independent. One former opposition Kuomintang council member sees this as Guo's old party trying to get even with him.
司法单位攻击来清除异己，或是说秋后算账，那就大可不必。
For their part, Guo's former colleagues from the DPP have this to say.
不要用这样相关放话的行为来影响检调的侦办。我们相信检调。
This is just the latest in a string of recent corruption cases involving local politicians. These include a Penghu County investigator who allegedly took bribes from prisoners' families, a bribery case in Yunlin County, which saw 6 officials accused, and a land sale case in Yilan County last year that saw the county magistrate and numerous others charged. These come as Taiwan is preparing to go to the polls in its presidential elections early next year, and as the main parties are embroiled in numerous scandals of their own. And headlines like these will do little to instill the public's faith in its political leaders at both the local or national level. John Su, John Van Trieste, and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's biggest Metoo movement is still gaining momentum, with over 200 people accusing their abusers so far. Now, women's groups are forming a task force of lawyers to provide free assistance to survivors. Bing Wang has details.
This is the Taiwan's Women's Center in Taipei. It's become a focal point in the last 6 weeks because over 200 people have come out against alleged sexual harassment. Now, organizations everywhere have formed a team of 30 lawyers to assist the victims free of charge. It's become Taiwan's biggest wave in the Metoo movement, a global campaign against sexual misconduct.
我想 MeToo 运动最主要的一个这个精神是，过去被害人可能以为他是孤单一个人的，可是在这个世界我们看到不是，我们事实上是有一群人是支持的。
今天的记者会现在开始，方方正正为你好，我服务做得很好。
Many people were inspired to come forward by the Taiwanese Netflix series Wavemakers, which dealt with sexual misconduct in the workplace. Among those now accused include doctors, professors, activists, diplomats, and politicians from both ruling and opposition parties.
虽然有这些的制度，但是被害者他不敢出来控诉，为什么？因为加害人就是有权势关系的这些人，所以在这一波大部分都是权势的一个性骚或是性侵。因此呢，在这一波我们希望的就是透过这些的被害者，他能够勇敢的说出来。
And as more people come forward against alleged abusers, the safer others feel to share their stories too. Almost every day, there have been allegations about sexual abuse. It's led to the public saying that the Metoo movement has now become the Time's Up movement. Taiwanese officials are being implored to provide safety for the victims and implement harsher rules. Lian Lian and Bing Wang in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
In world news, Hong Kong lawmakers have drastically reduced the number of city council seats directly elected by the public. Now, residents can only vote for 88 district council seats, down from 452 back in 2019. Pro-democracy candidates won 388 seats that year amid citywide protests. Those results angered the Chinese government. Now, many seats will be filled by appointees who are first vetted for their loyalty to Beijing. Critics say it's a new blow to democracy in Hong Kong. Earlier this week, China posted huge bounties for 8 pro-democracy advocates living in exile abroad. The latest major app to compete with Twitter, called Threads, launched on Wednesday. But not long after that, Twitter threatened to sue Threads owner Meta. Twitter's lawyers reportedly accused Meta of using insider information from former Twitter employees to create the copycat app. Meta also owns social media sites Instagram and Facebook. The text-based Threads app was built by the Instagram team, which took advantage of its existing user base of over 1.5 billion people. More than 30 million people joined Threads on launch day. That's even before its release in Europe. The company behind last month's deadly submersible accident has suspended all operations. On Thursday, OceanGate posted on its website that it has stopped services. 5 people were killed in June when the company's Titan submersible imploded while on a dive to the wreckage of the Titanic. Pieces of that sub have been recovered for analysis. Both the US and Canada have launched investigations into the accident. K-pop group Blackpink is facing anger in Vietnam over a map. Vietnam is investigating the website of Blackpink's tour organizer. Vietnamese fans are angry that it shows a map of the South China Sea. They say that map reflects Beijing's position on those disputed waters. Vietnam has already banned the Barbie movie for the same reason. China's claims over the South China Sea overlap with Vietnam's claims and those of several other countries. On Thursday, movie studio Warner said the Barbie map was not intended to make any statement and was simply a childlike crayon drawing. Germany's capital, Berlin, is pushing a new form of renewable energy, and everyone can contribute to it, whether they realize it or not. Our reporter Sandy Chi has the story.
Dark, damp, and smelly. This is a sewage tunnel under central Berlin. But it's not like other systems that carry away the city's waste. This one is also a heat plant. It is a 110,000 square meter site located under the House of Statistics, close by the city's famous Alexanderplatz. Its purpose is to push for a more sustainable heat supply with the help of wastewater from households and industries.
Also diese silbernen Platten sind sogenannte Wärmeübertragermodule. Da strömt das Abwasser drüber hinweg und in den Modulen strömt das Wasser, was wir dann im Quartier verteilen. Und durch einen Temperaturunterschied kann es Wärme aus dem Abwasser aufnehmen oder im Sommer zum Kühlfall auch abgeben.
The wastewater rushing over the plates laid over 350 meters generates the required energy. Next, heat pumps are used to distribute the recovered energy to nearby neighborhoods.
Also es gibt verschiedenste Quellen, die man im Wärmepumpenprozess einsetzen kann. Den meisten ist wahrscheinlich Luft als Wärmequelle bekannt. Dann gibt es noch oberflächennahe Geothermie. Dann könnte man auch Meereswasser oder Flusswasser nutzen. Oder zum Beispiel, wie wir jetzt hier im Projekt, die Abwasserwärme.
Germany has the world's highest wastewater reprocessing and recycling rate, with over 96% processed by sewage treatment plants. The Berlin project is scheduled for completion in April 2024. Scott Huang and Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Back in Taiwan, farmers in one corner of central Taiwan are bringing in beehives to help boost harvests. This is as climate change sends the local bee population into decline. The goal is to increase yields while being gentler on the environment. John Van Trieste has more.
Farmers in this part of Taiwan's central Metoo County have been busy as bees. On Wednesday, they installed 25 large beehives on their sponge gourd farms. The arrival of new bees from elsewhere is a relief, because local hives have suffered from the effects of climate change. Sponge gourds are a popular ingredient in savory Taiwanese dishes. This area of Metoo County's Yuchi Township accounts for half of Taiwan's harvest. The farmers who work these 50 hectares of gourd fields have high hopes the new bees will help boost yields.
相当有2万只左右的蜜蜂，所以等于有50万大军哈。虽然只有花小小的经费，可是可以增加农民将近2到3成一整年度的一个收益。
All this while cutting down on the need for fertilizer. It's an eco-friendly way of farming that has this community buzzing with excitement. John Su and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
It's raining cash? That's what some people in central Taiwan must have thought when bills worth some $4,000 came flying out of a delivery driver's bag. Those bills are scattered over 100 meters after the rider hit the road without closing his bag properly. Some motorists braved traffic to stop and pick up some of the bills. A large stack was later handed to the police. The driver was able to get the money back after using dashcam footage to prove that it was his, but that footage also showed he had run a red light. Lucky for him, police let him off the hook. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we're back to Barbie with images of a life-size Barbie dream house in California. I'm Eric Gao. Take care and see you next time.